Asus isn't a very well-known brand in the Indian market, and they've decided to change this by sticking it to the very popular Moto G. We're going to see how the Moto G responds in this comparison video. Both the phones are made out of plastic, but they're solidly built. It's kind of obvious with a glance that the Zenfone 5 is a mammoth in comparison, mainly due to its 5-inch screen and the capacitive buttons, but they don't vary much in thickness. For the back, they've employed a soft touch matte finish, which I found really nice in the hand, and Asus's Zenfone has taken cues from their ZenBook series, which personally I think makes it look really classy. It also offers 4 color options while the Moto G comes only in black, but the Moto G is customizable with a range of colors through cases sold by Flipkart. Something that bothered me with the Moto G was its oversensitive buttons, which caused it to unlock or mute itself in the bag or pockets. Overall though, I think the build on these phones is really good, and the Moto G with a smaller profile makes it easier to hold and operate with a single hand, but people with larger hands should be okay with the Zenfone 5 size. Coming to their displays, both sport 720p IPS panels and they look amazing with great viewing angles. When kept next to each other, I found that the colors on the Moto G were more natural, while Asus slightly accentuated yellows. But this isn't something that's going to bother you unless you're really looking for it. The Moto G's display also managed to get a lot brighter. In fact, 20 to 30% brightness levels on the Moto G match 50% on the Zenfone. Again, it's not that the Zenfone isn't a bright display, but the Moto G just gets brighter. In spite of this, when it comes to watching movies and videos, the Zenfone 5 is definitely the better choice thanks to the 5-inch display. I really didn't expect much from the cameras at this price point, but I was amazed at the clarity of the shots. Both phones performed better than my 2-year-old flagship Xperia S. We found that the Moto G performed marginally better in shots with good lighting conditions, while the Zenfone performed better for macro and low light shots. The Moto G's camera UI is pretty basic with HDR, slow motion and panorama modes, while the Zenfone 5 was feature rich with over 10 shooting modes and allowed a lot of customization like ISO, exposures, white balance and others. Overall, I found both cameras performed almost equally, but the Zenfone 5 offered a lot more customization options. When coming to the UI, both manufacturers have taken different approaches. Motorola has gone with the stock UI and hence comes with no bloat and offers really fast updates, which is clear from the fact that Moto G has been running the KitKat update for a while, and the Asus is still running Jelly Bean 4.3 out of the box, though a KitKat update has been promised. The UI on the Zenfone has been heavily customized by Asus, and surprisingly, I found myself liking most of the changes. The phone is snappy and the customizations haven't bogged it down either. The phone came with a lot of preloaded bloat, but I did find some useful. Overall, I found the Zen UI was pretty nice, while for a more stock experience and faster updates, Moto G is the way to go. Both models have 8GB and 16GB internal storage options, but the Zenfone 5 offers a micro SD slot, which the Moto G doesn't. It should be noted though that apps cannot be installed onto the micro SD card, and it's for media purposes only. The Moto G makes up for this by offering USB OTG support, though I found it glitchy, but hopefully this will be fixed in a future update. The phones have pretty decent battery lives for phones of their class, and I found that both lasted a day with normal usage. If I really had to nitpick, I'd say the Moto G lasts just a bit longer than the Zenfone 5, but I wouldn't consider the battery a differentiating factor considering how close they were. I found the speakers on both phones performed average. It was adequate, but none stood out. Overall, I think Asus has done a great job, which is also evident from the fact that Flipkart has dropped the Moto G's price to 10,499 to compete directly with the Zenfone 5. Both phones are great for the price, and I think it's a matter of what you're looking for in a phone. At a budget of 10,000 rupees, I would recommend the Zenfone 5 thanks to the micro SD slot, as only 8GB internal is very less storage space. If your budget is 12.5k and you watch a lot of videos, I'd recommend the Zenfone 5 16GB version for its 5-inch display. But if you don't need the big screen and extra storage space and you're after an all-rounder phone with fast updates, I'd recommend the Moto G. With that, we wrap the comparison. If you liked the video, click the like button and subscribe to our channel for our Surface Pro 3 and HP Spectre X2 review. Thanks for watching, guys.